When I was in Form 4, which is SS1, that was when I lost my father. And as the last one, it felt like the world has collapsed on me. Take seriously what that friend is. So if you take someone as a friend and it's taking you as an acquaintance, there is no relationship. You also have to take that person back as an acquaintance. With someone like Chief Agbeja, we had issues as a boss to a subordinate. Yes, there are three categories of membership I have known in JCI. We have the workers, we have the financiers, and we have the leaders. You can only find one person that is two of the three.
You are welcome to JCI podcast. I have with me here an incredible guest, JCI Senator Rotimi. I've been looking forward to have this conversation with you, and I'm sure that it will be value for our time. Thank you so much. So before we start, I have a couple of questions in my mind, and I'm sure that you are in that position to answer the questions. But before I dive into those questions, I want us to go back in the lane of memory. You have studied insurance all your life. I mean, it's been years of doing one thing. But before that, can you take us back while growing up? Was it your personal decision or something influenced it? How did family play in this role of getting into what you are doing today, sir? You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Timmy. It's nice being here, and thank you for the job you're doing. Yeah, joining being in insurance as a coincidence, and I intended studying insurance. I wanted to study political science first, so I gained admission to University of Ibadan, but I also gained admission for accounting Polytechnic of Ibadan. But along the line, there were issues, and my aunt, who works at the Polytechnic of Ibadan, says, "Oh, why not insurance?" Then I said marketing. The marketing was at the satellite campus in Shaki. Yeah, I said I can't go to Shaki. I've never been there. So she said, why don't you do insurance? Insurance is still a virgin field in Nigeria. And I said, those people that wear coats, that they don't know how to dress, they don't know how to do this. And she convinced me into going into studying insurance. So I had the intention I was going to do insurance for my OND, then I was going to cross.
Okay.
So after my OND, I did IT at Boff Co. Insurance Brokers. Yeah, JCI Senator Babajide Olatunde Agbeja's company. And I had the intention of still going back. Yeah, I had the intention of still going back to the university. So I gained admission to University of Abuja for economics. But Chief Agbeja was able to convince me to stay back in insurance. And that was how I went back for my HND in insurance. And it's been beautiful. All my life it's been insurance. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so I have bias for insurance, but I won't go into that today because so let me leave that. Why growing up? How was your growing up like? Do you have several siblings? What was their perspective about what you want to study? How about your parents? Because I know insurance is not something you can hardly see parents that says go for insurance. Their options are always accounting, engineering, doctor. Can you speak to that, sir?
Yeah, I'm the last one of a family of 5. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I lost my dad when I was 16, before 16, when I was in Form 4. So the belief in my family, as it relates to me, was what do I really want to do, not what they want me to do. And what really influenced accounting then was the perspective that I can work for some years and start my own accounting firm. So when I realized insurance also gave me that leverage, it was easier for them to say, yes, go into insurance. And my eldest brother, who still stands in as my father, is also Chief Agbeja's friend. So he was the one that got me to Boff Co. and ensured Chief Agbeja become my mentor. So it was easier. They supported me in every way, and they gave me all the support. They gave me all the material resources that I needed to progress and achieve whatever I am today. So I'm grateful to God and grateful to my family for being there for me.
Awesome. So for me, I don't like I don't like hearing sweet stories all through. Because I know that in the middle of all the stories, there are always, I've been in moments when I'm just lost. I don't know exactly what to do. Were there those moments in your journey growing up, perhaps in family or in your own personal life, that was very challenging that you can share with us, sir?
Yes, I have couples, but I will share two. I will share one about life. I will share the other one about my career. When I was in Form 4, which is SS1, that was when I lost my father. And as the last one, it felt like uh, the world has collapsed on me. And I felt maybe that was the end of a great plan for my life. It was very uh, sudden and a very tough time. Not tough time economically, not tough time financially, but tough time emotionally and mentally. And I was able to skate through this with the help of my mom, who was there for me emotionally and mentally. My brothers, Leke, my sisters, Tony, Bumi, they did everything to ensure I never lacked anything in life. So I
Wow.
still lived beyond what I could have as a child, not having a father. In career, I served as CBN and with my friend, Bode Okunla, who was my roommate for several years in Ibadan. And we had
Wow.
a choice to either go into banking or go back to what we studied, insurance. So we both got
Yeah.
employment, and I remember then, but they went into banking. I had an offer of about 23,000 something naira to start the banking career. Then I remember the dream of owning my own company in the future, and I felt it's going to be difficult for me owning a bank easily. But it might be difficult. It might be easy for me owning an insurance brokerage firm easily. And by then, Chikwabeja has been a mentor to me. So I was at the crossroads of what should I do? Should I go into banking because of the money, or should I go into insurance because of the career? So it was tough. But again, my brother, my eldest brother, Guiga, was there to cancel me into it. Mrs. Agbeja, who was my manager when I was serving in CBN, was also instrumental. Then I had a chat with Chief Agbeja, and he was able to convince me into this. Are there other challenging periods? Yes, human being will always have challenges. It's called wilderness. And it's also a period for us to understand what life is. But I think the most difficult one was after I left Boff and Co. and I went back to school in the UK for my master's in 2010. I lost every
Wow.
investment I've had. I mean, every investment. And I wasn't working. I was a student and with a wife and two kids in Nigeria. And losing all your
Wow.
investment was tough. But in everything, I had faith. I've built relationship. I've built a network. And I felt it wasn't going to come out good for me. So I was contemplating, should I stay back? Should I come back? But again, God appeared and I got a call from Nigeria. Can you do this consultancy for us? And I said, I'm in the
Okay.
UK studying. He said, yes, you can come home. And I took the challenge and I make good money from it. And that money was what we invested to start Samvik Insurance Brokers Limited. And today, Samvik is 14 years old and Samvik is doing very well. So for every challenge,
Wow.
there has always been a way out. And it depends on the faith we have in God and how much we're able to use our brain
Yeah.
to grow. Because when I was going in for my master's, the last professor I met before they gave me the admission said, Tax business school is not a school where you identify problems alone. Tax business school is a school
Mm.
where you solve problems. And because our brain is large enough to take in a lot of challenges and process it.
Yeah.
So we want to expand your brain. We want you to learn how to use your brain. And since then, it's been a turning point for me.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
Well,
So I am going to be leaning on some of the things you have said. I can hear that you have supportive relationship that could help when you were down. How were you able to manage those relationships over years? Were there things you do intentionally? Because I know that even with Senator Agbeja, there should once in a while there should be some frictions that you have to manage, with people. For some of us that are just starting out, and we have people that perhaps take interest in us, yet we also want to move very fast. Sometimes their counsel might not really sit well with us because of the pace at which we want to move. How do we handle it and still not lose that relationship? And we still need them to understand our perspectives.
Thank you very much. This go more in the line of mentorship and building relationship and friendship. First is not what you want to take out of the friendship or mentorship.
Yeah.
It is what you want to learn from it. And it is a value you're also bringing in to the table for every friendship. With someone like Chief Agbeja, we had issues as a boss to a subordinate. Yes, we've always had that because I believe I could also be difficult. But the value I bring to the table at Boff and Co makes him to appreciate me a lot. So he listens to me at every point in time when decisions were going to be taken. And I think he was able to understand and read my perception of everything. That everything I say, it's not always about me, it's about the growth of the organization as a whole.
Wow.
And that also helped in building a relationship of respect. I refuse to cross the line where I would disrespect him as my mentor, as my boss. So that's part of you adding value back to the system and understanding where the position of the boss, where it takes decision, whether you like it or not, is his decision. And I also learned that when the boss takes decision, even if it's not going to sit well, you have to work to make it sit well, no matter how difficult it is. So relationship matters a lot. Relationship is what gives you the future. Relationship is what builds the foundation for you. Relationship is what helps you to stay afloat when you're coming down. So for my siblings, it's a straightforward thing. They owe me that bond. They owe me that responsibility as my blood, as my older ones. And to my friends, Odil, Kola, and Co, who we studied together, it's a relationship we built while we're growing up. Nobody knew what we're going to be while we're growing up, but we've always had a dream, and we've always shared our dream, and we've always had mutual respect and openness. So for you to leverage your relationship, you must be sincere in the relationship. You must be deliberate to understand what you want in the relationship, because it's not every relationship that give you holistically everything you needed in life, but every relationship give you what value you want to take from it. So you have to be deliberate about it, you have to be intentional about it, and you have to give your relationship and your network the respect it deserves.
Yeah, true. Still on that relationship, I had an experience recently that I want you to speak to. How about you have a friend, you see the person as your closest friend, but the person is not seeing you as his own closest friend. So every opportunity you have to share with the person, you share, but the person is not seeing you that way. Are you supposed to stop seeing the person that way, or help the person see you the way you are seeing him?
Thank you, Timmy. I will go back to 2006 when I got to learn what acquaintances are and what friends are. There's a difference between the two. As of 2006, I see every friend as a friend, not understanding the difference between an acquaintance and a friend. And I have an incident, and I went to my JCI senator, who also stands in today as one of my mentors, JCI Senator GW Shuaga. And I cried to him as a young man with tears, and he sat me down because I felt a friend disappointed me, and I felt betrayed, just the example that you gave. And he lectured me on what a friend is or should be, and what an acquaintance is or should be, but that at every point in time of our life, we take our friends, our acquaintance to be friends. So if you have a friend that you discuss everything with, but takes everything about him away and only take from you, then you are acquaintance. He's not your friend, but you have taken him as a friend.
Despite the
But
length of years.
it doesn't matter. You can know someone as a child, and you grew up as children to adulthood, and you're still acquaintance, not friends. So your friends should be able to open up to you at every point in time. It should be give and take. Your friend should be that person you can lean on. Your friend should be that person that even if you kill a human being and it becomes a crisis, your friend should be that person you can confide in. That yes, I actually did it. How can you help me out? Not someone that you tell everything, but he keeps his own everything away from. So you must be able to identify who your friend is and take seriously what that friend is. So if you take someone as a friend and is taking you as an acquaintance, there is no relationship. You also have to take that person back as an acquaintance and create a gap and dine with the person with the long spoon. In the future, it might turn the other way and you might become friends. But at that particular time, you are trying to be friends, he is trying to be an acquaintance. There is a reason, there must be a reason why he is being an acquaintance to you. And there has been a reason why you are a friend to him. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you have to retrace yourself back, or he retraces his own step forward to accept you as a friend. But integrity and sincerity has been questioned from the beginning. So the foundation is faulty. Will you be able to trust each other? It's a no. But you can still have best of relationship as acquaintance.
Wow. So if one thing I'm getting out of this is that the length of time does not determine how close you are to someone. It's the depth of your bonding that really determines, how close you have. I want to confirm if I'm correct with that.
You're very correct. I have childhood friends that we grew up together as children. They are not my best friends today. The young man I met when I got into Polytechnic of Ibadan at 17 is my best friend today. A young man that I met when I was in Form 2, it's my brother and my best friend today. So it's not how long, but how good and how well you are able to bond just using your word, and how much you are able to understand yourself. I have met some young friends in the last 10 years that have become my confidant, one or two. And I even confide in them than friends we grew up together or friends that we went to school together. But I just met them through JCI in the last 10 years, 11, 12 years that they joined my local organization. But they're in my corner, they're in my circle, they're in my space. And they have gone beyond even friends to be brothers to me. And I can close my eyes and say, yes, if this person knows this about me, I can trust him to stand by me at every point in time. If this other one find out this about me, he can vouch for me and stand by me at that particular time. I've also built outside my local organization, one or two or three, that I can look back and I can say, yes, I trust this person. And they also trust me too. And will they be there for me at the trouble times? They will be. And that is the way it is. So it's not how long, it is how much you're able to build a relationship, how much you're able to build sincerity, trust, and loyalty. The word loyalty is very key in friendship. And that's what determines everything. Can your friend die for you? Can your friend stand in for you? Can you die for your friend? Can you stand in for your friend? Those are the words. When I use the word die, I don't mean literally meaning die. You understand? But can they be there for you at the most difficult times? That is what determines friendship, not how far and the duration you've known each other.
Oh, wow. So thank you so much for speaking to that. That was very, very important. Just one last question on friends before I move to JCI. Are there things you do intentionally to keep relationship? Maybe you have maybe every month check-ins, and also how do you pick, what are the things you look at in people before? Is it a coincidence? Maybe something happened and we had to come together, started working together, or you can see someone from far and say, if this person has this and that, I can be or get closer to this person.
First, let me speak on what I do to sustain friendship. It's sacrifice.
Oh.
If I'm to say 10 things, I'll mention sacrifice. Because without sacrifice, you cannot give anything out. I go all out to support my friends. I inconvenience myself to support my friends. I stand by my friends during troubles. It's not about being whether it's convenient or not convenient, whether it's convenient or not. It's when it's most inconvenient. I look out for my friend. I think ahead for my friend. I look to support my friends at every point in time, most especially when they're in troubles. I share what I have with my friends. I share my comfort with my friends. I share in my friends' sorrows. I share it in my friends' pains at every point in time. They are not only deliberate, they are intentional. And I do it without expecting anything back in return. I do it because it gives me joy to help people. It gives me joy to assist people. Whether I know you or not, that is me. I go all out for people to give comfort and to support, no matter whether I have or I don't have. In identifying friends, I am big in the respecting friends or respecting people who are well cultured. It is easy for me to understand and study the background, family background of human beings. It is easy for me to understand how much you can sacrifice for people. It's easy for me to understand when you speak negative of other people, which means you can speak negative of me. What you say about people to me determines who you are. How much you're able to go out for other people I don't know, and they speak to me to say, oh, say thank you to this person. Oh, this person was there for me at this particular time without asking for it. It speaks about who you are, the quality you have, how intelligent you are, how brilliant you are, and how teachable you are matters a lot to me. You don't need to be perfect because no human being is perfect. I have a lot of flaws. People around me tolerate me and they endure me. You understand? So it's not how perfect you are, but it's how teachable, how much you're ready to be in the same space with me, and how much you respect other people. And also, how much do you want to grow in life? What value can we have to each other? What is your belief about family values matters a lot. So these are the things I look out for. And what I've said earlier about sacrifice is all I give. And I give it the best way I could.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Though that sacrifice looks very big. When you say sacrifice, people are always, okay, what am I supposed to sacrifice my comfort? But you have shed light on that. I want to take us into how you joined this JC High and what are the challenging. I also want you to speak to something. There's something people call JCI politics. I don't know your perspective about it, but being once a local organization president, I believe you can speak to that, sir. And with your temperament, I believe you can speak to that. So tell us about how you joined JCI, how you rose to JCI as so president and JCI politics.
JCI politics. Okay. I mean, I think you are trying to drag me into other things. No, not the problem. So I met JCI when I was in Polytechnic Ibadan, when we used to do RAG days. So JC members also come out and do RAG days. Then there was this young man, Adewole. He's a JCI senator from Oluyole. Everybody always looked at me from distance, and one day he walked down to me and he greeted me. He spoke to me about JCI. Then we started gisting. So they will invite me for programs. I will go. But they have this thing too serious about their meetings. I belong to other associations in the school. But when I go to their own functions, it's too much English for me. And they're always, I love the way they dress, but I wasn't a Thai person then. So, but I just love their environment. Then other JC members will see like they're speaking with me and they'll be wondering, how was he able to get close to Rotimi? We look at him from distance. Why that? I don't know. And Lady became my friend, and I was participating, attending their programs, and coincidentally, I joined Boff Co. Where Chief Beja is a leader in Africa and Middle East, and an advisor in JCI representing Africa and Middle East. And I see a lot of JC members coming to the Boff Co. And I wasn't really happy that they come in at the period we're working and they're distracting my MD. And so I always have that complaint. And suddenly I was romancing JCI then. Then I met the JCI Senator GW Shuaga and Abusani Sanda in Abuja. And they were starting a new local organization. So I met them in 1999. And in 2000, they were able to convince me to be fully active in JCI, and I joined JCI also in the last 25 years, and it's been a beautiful journey. Was I serious at the beginning? I wasn't serious. So for now, when I see new members that join the organization and they're not serious, they're just enjoying themselves, I don't get upset. I felt, oh, okay, with time, they will get in there, because it took me 2-3 years to be active. And when I say active, I was active on social part. Well, you give me responsibility, I do it, I don't write a report, and things like that. Until after 3 years, the DNA, that spirit of JCI, entered me fully. And in the last 22 years or 23, I think I've been extremely very, very active in JCI. And JCI has been a major part of my life. How did I become president of JCI ASO? I never wanted to be a president of any local organization. And I'm very, very serious with this.
Everybody sees that.
I just want to be a member and give my best. We had issues. Every local organization have their ups and downs. And ASO was in the lowest of their own issues. And the leaders led by GW Shuaga spoke to me, oh, why don't you become the president? You've been our VP, you've been our EVP. Why are you saying no at this challenging period? And my other friends, Adesoye, Tola Shugbeson, Collins Lanyo, Rotimi Sadiq, and they all spoke to me about it, and I gave them conditions. My friends outside JCI, I gave my friends conditions to except the join. So that was how I was elected as JCI ASO president. And I had a team back to the basics, going back to the things we need to do and we're supposed to do and be building. And I thank God for them convincing me to be, because it's also taught me how to lead and taught me leadership and how people's management. And yes, on temperament, I think I'm one of the bad-tempered people I would say around, and that is for facts. Maybe I wasn't.
Well, you don't look it, sir. You don't look it, sir. You look very cool.
Thank you, Timmy. Well, that's the truth, but I think JCI has taught me how to manage my temper and how to see people the way they are and how to manage expectation about people and how to also understand that what I see is not what everybody sees. And what I believe in is not what everybody believes in. So JCI has taught me also to be able to understand where people are coming from. And JCI taught me also the yes, yes, and the no, no. Everybody's right, everybody's wrong. So you come to the table and have a discussion and have a way forward on everything. So that's it about joining JCI, joining ASO, and my line in ASO. And I also remembered when I was president in 2006, GW, who is the leader of ASO, spoke to me. My friend spoke to me about coming out for national vice presidency, and I rejected it. I told them I wasn't going for that. And did I regret it? Then I didn't regret it. I was happy I wasn't. But today, it was it. it's a regret. It's not a regret, but I wish if I have the clock turned back again, I will give it a chance. I will give it an opportunity, because there are other things you also need to learn as you grow up in leadership. But I thank God I have other platforms that give me the opportunity to learn those things. So I didn't actually miss them. GTI politics. GTI politics. There's politics everywhere in life. Even within your family, there's politics. You getting me on the podcast involves politics, because yes,
Oh,
you spoke with someone that is close to me, and you mentioned a name, and certainly I won't say no because of where you're coming from. So that's also politics. Politics is the opportunity of key into leadership and creating a system and a structure, a tradition, and allowing people to believe in that tradition, in that culture, in that vision. Politics is holistically a dream and a vision you believe in, and you have people with you that believe in the same thing. What do I believe in JCI? I believe members don't need to rub the shoulder of leaders before they get into positions. Members don't need to travel distance to go and lobby a leader to get into positions. Active members must be able to also have impact and input into who leads them. Politics is people coming together to elect their leaders. And politics is also a situation where people coming together and ratify the people that lead them. Politics is a route, is a road that leads into people choosing people that lead them. What I knew in JCI politics was elections going into late night, elections going into the following day, elections going into bad blood. Well, as of today, we are also going into understanding of people coming into symptom and understanding that yes, politics can make two friends hate themselves. But how can we manage it? And we'll try to remove negative politics, which we can remove 100%, but we've been able to manage to a great extent for friends not to be enemies after elections. And I believe that is part of the reason why JCI itself, which is the main body of the organization we belong to, now keep having candidates run on selective basis and ratified. But this might not work holistically everywhere. So in Nigeria today, you have an hybrid of both, of people coming to say, yes, I want to serve, I want to pick up form, and you pick up form, and also coming back to say, oh, I think I would rather step down and allow this person to go. And some saying they want to run it all throughout, which is also not negative. It's also good for people to go out there and sell themselves and let people take a decision. So politics and JCI is tough. And sometimes I say it's tougher than even JCI than the Nigerian politics, because it's a small family compared to Nigeria as a whole. And some of us take a lot of the heat. We take a lot of the heat because even when you get it right, some will say you didn't get it right. When you get it wrong, some will say, yes, you got it right. So you can never satisfy every human being in politics. But one thing you must have clear is the vision. And the vision must be about the organization, not about you. It must be about the organization as a whole. It must be about the progress of the organization. And everybody in JCI, everybody that is a member, want the progress of the organization. The way we speak, the language we speak, is only what differs. Nobody hates the organization. Everybody loves the organization. And everybody wants to add value to the organization. But our processes differs. Our belief differs. But we'll always try to come together and continue to build.
Well, I think you are very grounded in politics because you really dissected the whole thing. And thank you so much for giving that that understanding. I also have a personal question I would like to ask. But before I ask the question, I want to know what you see as your own my biggest mindset shift. I mean, what are the things that have helped you to get to where you are? I believe that mindset is very important to everything we do in life. What are the mindset you hold? If I were to meet you today, let's say at the airport, and you are leaving Nigeria and we might not be able to talk again, what are the things you tell me that can probably just change my life?
The words I will leave in your heart are very few. Have a dream. Speak to your dream. Every human being must have a dream. Every human being must speak to their dream. Your dream plus the word you speak to your dream becomes your destiny. Joseph had a dream. Joseph told his brothers about his dream. The brothers hated him for his dream. The brothers threw him into the pit. The brothers sold him into slavery. He was in Potiphar's house. He went through temptation with Potiphar's wife. He survived the temptation. He was guilty for not yielding to temptation. In the prison, he interpreted a dream. The interpretation of the dream brought him to the palace. Coming to the palace made him a prime minister. Being the prime minister brought his brothers to him to bow down. The dream he had at the beginning, that he set out and set out, was fulfilled at the end. Have a dream. Believe in your dream. Be focused on your dream. You will go through betrayals in your dream. You will go through slavery. You will go through the wilderness. You will go through temptation. But if you stand and remain focused, you will achieve that dream. So the first word for you is focus. I focus on whatever I am doing. There are distractions, but I remain focused. Integrity. Integrity matters a lot. Integrity is what keeps you in the mind of people. Let your A be A. Let your B be B. People will dislike you for it. People will hate you for it. But let integrity stand and let people know you that the moment you say something, that is what you stand by. Be a critical thinker. Don't go with the crowd. Be yourself. When everybody is celebrating a milestone, celebrate with them, but find out that little thing they were supposed to have achieved better that they refuse to achieve. Every organization don't have more than one or two critical thinkers. Critical thinkers might not be the CEO. Critical thinkers might even be the gate man, might even be the cleaner. That is that person that just thinks differently, that finds solution to every point and every challenges, and that look for the ways to move forward. Build yourself to be a critical thinker and be a value at everywhere you are. And again, sacrifice as much as you could in building the relationship and in building yourself. These are the words I will leave with you. And if you abide by these words, if you go towards this through these words, I tell you, you will not be at the bottom, but you'll always be at the top. And being at the top, there are prices to pay. Those prices are tough, but if you can pay them, I'll tell you at the end of the day, you will always smile and you always be remembered for everything.
So your words are not so simple. They are tough. They are very tough, but I believe that truth is bitter. So in my mind, as we were talking, I was just thinking, how do you, because I've heard this several times, dream big. Some people don't have the capacity to dream beyond what they can see. How do you get your mind to that point where you can even think beyond? I don't know if you are getting me. sometimes it's as if your brain is just limited in a box. How do you go beyond that small mind?
Hmm. The people you work with, the people you move with, the people you relate with matters a lot. When you relate with people that you are better off and you don't have anybody you're looking up to or you want to be like, then you're contented with what you have. When you live in an environment where you are the king and everybody runs to you and you believe, oh, you have achieved everything in life, your dream is limited. When you don't have the exposure you needed to have,
Oh,
your dreams are limited. When you refuse to improve yourself by reading, by attending trainings, your dreams are limited. When you don't have challenges, when you don't have responsibilities, your dreams are limited. When you don't have the kind of vision of the kind of family that you want to have, your dreams are limited. When you don't have a dream of what you want to be, you want to be the highest in your career, you want to be the most successful in your career, you want to be at the top of everything you do in life, your dreams are limited. In all, the people you have around you, the people you relate with, the people you surround yourself with, the people you look up to determines your dream. And this boosts your confidence. When you move with people that challenges you, when you relate with people, or when you attend courses, when you attend trainings, when you have the good exposures, when you have the great mentors to help you in life. Mentors doesn't necessarily have to be taught to people. You can go into underwork, you can learn underwork and still look for people that are the most successful as the mechanic you're learning. What have they done in life to get to that top level? And when you are not contented with the little you have and not trying to be better than the best person, then your dreams are limited. And what are the things that limit people's dreams? It's fear. Fear of the unknown. People don't want to take risk, but life is about risk. You're waking up, sleeping and waking up is a risk. How are you so sure when you sleep, you wake up? So it's a risk for you to close your eyes and sleep. It's a risk for you to eat food because you don't even know whether that food is a poison. It's a risk for you to leave your house every day and go out because you don't know if you'll be involved in an accident. Being involved in an accident doesn't mean you have to be careless. Another person could be careless. Starting that little business you have started is a risk. You don't know if government will come tomorrow and demolish that little business you have. So everything about life is risk. So why don't you take the bigger risk? But in taking the bigger risk makes it a calculated risk, not a speculative risk. Don't make it a risk where you just start from A and you go to Z. That is part of what kills people. So for you to dream better, the same way you are dreaming small, it's the same way you would dream big. There is no difference. The same sleep, the same closing of your eyes, the same sitting, the same planning. And I will tell you, it's even difficult to dream small than to dream big. When you dream, yeah, it's more difficult. I'll tell you, when you dream small, eh, to start that small will be difficult because you can't go to anybody to say you want to start small. You want to start a farm. You said you want to start from your compound. You're limited to your compound. And as you're planting in your compound, you're wetting it. Your little children are playing with the plants and destroying it. If you're unlucky, you like dogs like me. The dog goes in there, scatter the whole thing. But when you're thinking big, you go out of your own comfort zone to talk to people that are better than you, people that are bigger than you, people that have passed through that journey and fallen into the potholes, people that have fallen and gone through pains. You go to them, they help you, and you start better than your compound, and you start better than you ever expected. So dreaming small is difficult to execute. Dreaming big gives you vision helpers who can hold your hand, who can help you to move faster than you ever thought.
Wow. dreaming small is more difficult than dreaming big. Wow. Seems like it's the first time I'm just hearing that. So I need your advice here. Let's say there is a new JCI member that is just joining JCI, and we know that JCI is expensive. It's expensive to really be part of the activities in JCI because you have to travel, you have to take trainings, you have to, there's a whole lot. So, and this guy is just training, does not have much, just managing his little business. What's your advice to him, and how should he create opportunities for himself without looking very desperate?
Hmm. Uh, that's tough. That's tough. But I'll say it the way I've always seen it. There are three categories of membership I have known in JSI. We have the workers, we have the financiers, and we have the leaders. You can only find one person that is two of the three, not one person that will be three of the three. If you join the organization and you don't have what it takes to finance yourself, and you're a worker in your local organization, you learn, you give everything, you attend meetings, you attend projects, you attend programs, people see the commitment in you. And you know there is a conference coming up in 6 months' time, and it's going to cost 100,000 total package. And you are able to save a 3,000 naira every month, or let's say 5,000 naira every month from the little you have. And the leaders that you look up to sees that commitment, and you are able to go and say, I wish to attend this program. I've been able to save this amount of money. I intended to stay in a room alone, or I wouldn't mind for three of us combining together to stay together in a room, sharing the cost. Any reasonable leader would look at you and they want to invest in you, will support you all throughout when you grow. I'll give an example of ASO. ASO started with only middle management staff as members. If you are not a graduate and you are not an assistant manager in your organization, you cannot join ASO at that particular time. So which means, yes, which means ASO at the beginning does not take anybody that doesn't have a job. Even if you have to be a middle management staff of your company. And we realize we don't have workers. We have the finances to travel, but we're the one doing everything. We'll carry our chairs ourselves, we'll plan programs ourselves. So ASO decided to say, okay, let's take fresh graduates that are serving and are just starting their career. What do we now decided? Okay, our dues is 5 naira. Those people that were bringing home, no, I'm just saying it wasn't 5 naira. I'm just saying if our dues is 5 naira, those members that are coming in and are just starting their career in life or are just serving will pay 50% of the dues instead of 100%. That's the first thing we did. We understand the part of exposure. When you go for conferences, you attend trainings. When you go for conferences, you make new friends, you're networking. When you go for conferences, you know new towns, new cultures, new traditions. And we saw it as education. So we tell the new members, the cost of registration, accommodation, and transportation is 10 naira. Pay 2 naira. The leaders will support with 8 naira. What are we teaching them? Your commitment has to be innate. You have to be a shareholder. You have to be a stakeholder in that trip you're going. And when they go for those trainings, those conferences, they meet new set of people. They learn new ways of doing things through trainings. They want to stay back, give more back to the organization. That particular set of members, in another 3 years, would have grown in their career, would have gone more stable financially. At the beginning, are they adding value to the organization, to ASO? They were adding value to ASO because they are now the workers we never had. We had leaders, we had financiers, but we didn't have workers. So they are workers for 3 years. Within that 3-4 years, they have grown to be financiers. So they are combining being workers and financiers at the same time. They are now grooming a new set of members that are just coming in. The new members that are just coming in are being supported by everybody holistically now. So if I am supporting with the 5 naira before, I will be supporting with the 3 naira. The ones that have been there for 4 years, that have now grown in their finances, will be supporting with 2 naira. And which means we have layers of generations. And everybody that comes into ASO understand that you cannot lack any cost of traveling, except you're not committed and you are not determined to go and you are stingy with your own money. But when you're committed, ASO supports you to grow. And what we're doing through this is mentorship and growing people. So as of today, ASO is in the 6th or 7th generation. I'm in the 2nd generation. You guys in the 1st generation. But we came in as 2nd generation and we are stable financially. The 3rd generations are then Bayo Morakinyo, then Dayo Daramola, then Richard Ojo. They are very big in their career now. When they came in, we were supporting them. But today, we are seated back. We are not given as much as we used to. Sometimes they even say we shouldn't contribute. So they have also built new set of generations that are the Kayode, Otushote, the Shegun I know, and go. Yori Modoyi, Femi, and Femi Fadaru. And they have also built another generation who are the Atairos, who are the Yetundes. You understand? So ASO is revolving. So we now have about 5 generations that financially support ASO. So we don't care whether you have a work, whether you have a source of income or not, as long as you have passion for the organization, we encourage you to join and you're teachable. And we ensure, we support you for the next few years for you to be able to stand, to start working, and to start running. When you start running, you become a financier also. So for every new member that is joining, I will expect that the local organization that they are joining should have a structure where they support them to be able to attend conferences, understanding that JCI is expensive. But together, we can be the same. It doesn't matter who shook the bridge. It could be the fly, it could be the elephant, but together, we shake the bridge together and nobody understands or know who shook the bridge.
Wow. I wanted to ask that question, that what made ASO very strong as a local organization in Nigeria? And you have perfectly answered it. And that structure and system is what I think other local organizations should also, because it seems perfect, and I believe it can work anywhere. I believe so. Thank you so much for that once again. I mean, I never thought about that. I just look at ASO as, why is it that these people are just so strong? If you want to go for national play, just go to ASO and get their vote. Once you get their vote, you are done. Awesome. Thank you for really breaking down that system.
I don't know about that one.
So the funniest thing is that I joined JCI last year. JCI. So I'm very new. Anything I say is from learning from how does this thing work? Why is this ASO? What's there? Who are the people there? So I ask questions a lot. And some people just look at me and say, do you want to become national? I said, no, I'm just curious. Because this Abuja, they can't just be so strong that they are stronger than everybody. So thank you so much for that.
You know the truth.
Okay.
About you going to ASO and because of their vote. Really not because of their vote. It's because of the relationship ASO have with other local organizations. We have good relationship with other local organizations, and other local organizations also understand that people from ASO are their brothers and sisters, and we say things the way they are, no matter who gets hot, no matter who feels bad. And our interest has always been about the national organization. So that is it. It's about our relationship. It's about power partnership. It's about the friends we have built everywhere. It's about the integrity we have built to be able to talk to other leaders and say, oh, we're looking at this. What do you think? And it's about everybody coming together in the same room to take decision. But thank you for talking about also that positively.
Thank you so much, sir. So I have two questions left.
Okay.
Number one is, and these questions are just coming up as you were talking. Number one is, what do you look at in people, especially young? I had a conversation with DCI Senator Tunde Anifowoshe just earlier this week, and he mentioned how, we have young people coming up in JCI and they are not teachable. Some are not teachable, while some are very, very ready to learn. What do you look at in young GCI members that are very interested in learning, might not have all the wisdom to articulate or put themselves together, and you can say, I want to take this person up. I want to help this person grow faster, because I believe that one can compress that time gap. What do you look out for in people?
What I look out for in people is passion. I'll tell you, yes, you have to be teachable. But people have reasons why they are not teachable. A child that grew up from a background that doesn't believe in certain things is not the fault, is not the undoing of that child, that the child is not teachable.
Wow.
The passion, the interest, the discipline come first. If you are teachable, it makes it easier for me to help faster than I could think. If you're not teachable, I want to get to the bottom of the reason why you're not teachable. Simple problems are easy for us to solve. Grooming someone that is teachable is easy for us, but is a major required character. And we have had a lot of experience helping people that are teachable. But changing people that are not teachable, making them teachable, and bringing out the best in them is a miracle and is a sacrifice. And is an experience any leader should always look forward to. We have our own shortcomings when we're growing up, but our teachers, our parents, our family friends never gave up on us. They continue giving their best. They continue to teach us. They continue to model us. So for me, whether you're teachable, whether you're not teachable, I don't give up as long as you have interest to be better. It is when you don't have interest to be better that is difficult. Even when you don't have interest to be better, we are also taught in leadership to help you see light. You might be in darkness. And the moment you want to help somebody that has been in perpetual darkness and you bring electricity, the person can go blind. So why don't you be in the candle for the person to be able to see a little? From the candle, you go to the lantern. From the lantern, you go to the spotlight. From the torchlight, you can now bring the light. So gradually, the person is introduced into seeing light rather than seeing the light and going blind.
Sir, yes. Allow me to come in here, sir. Sir, you have 24 hours in a day, sir. You have family members, sir. You have businesses, sir. You have friends that need your time. We have a lot of JCI members. How many can you take up? Looking at that, because people like me will start reaching out to you and start disturbing you. I want you to look at it very well. Can you really give, how many people can you do this to?
I will tell you that there is nobody I come across, and that is part of my undoing in the organization. A lot of people believe I am weak by allowing every member that want to have access to me to have access to me. It's not a weakness. It is tough. It takes all your time in life. But I will tell you, if our leaders, political leaders, if our religious leaders who attend to all the sheep under them as a shepherd, what happens to us? I developed myself to be a shepherd, not to be a leader. So as much sheep that comes in, I attend to. I am saying it with all honesty. I attend to. Now, I am much, much better. If you come to me and I realize Ataru can solve your leadership growth problem, I refer you to Ataru. I call Ataru. I'm referring Timmy to you. Please help me mentor him. If I think the path you will need mentorship is a business, and you need a tough person to mentor you, I will refer you to a biomurakinyo. If I think, oh, what you need at this stage is a calmer person that can listen to you, talk to you, and refer you back to me after some time, I refer you to Tunji or Yemi. If I think you're a female that needs the part of top entrepreneurship, top business acumen, I refer you, and a mother figure, I refer you to Kumbi Uraola or Ijokotade. So, am I still attending to everybody? I am still attending to everybody without losing any sheep, without throwing any sheep away. Is it tough? Is it having a toll on my business? Is it having a toll on my family? Yes, it is. But if I become the president of this country, will I still take care of my businesses? Will I still take care of my family? Will I still take care of my personal life? I will. So all JCI has given me is an opportunity, a platform to be able to build my strength, my elasticity, and the ability to attend to a lot of things at the same time. As the younger members are attending trainings to be better, I am attending life training, life coaching, to learning through doing and using the organization to build my weaknesses. And that is the way it has been.
Wow. I wasn't expecting you to answer this question this way. I planned to throw you off balance by stating out your responsibilities. But then, wow, that was awesome. That was awesome. So one last question. Thank you so much for your time. I've enjoyed this podcast from start till now. You are in your perhaps 40, 50, you are starting to build legacy. What do you plan to do for the next 20 years?
The next 20 years, I'll be exactly the next 20 years, I'll be 73, which means I'm 53 now. The next 20 years, I want to look back and see how many mentors I have groomed, how many mentors they have groomed, that I have groomed, how many mentees I have groomed to be mentors, how many mentees have been groomed to be mentors, and a chain effect. I want to look back and see how many lives has my father's foundation, Adewole, transformed to scholarships. I want to look back and think how many people have gone through my tutelage and they are at the top of their career. I want to look back and think how many lives were almost lost medically and I was able to support financially beyond what I have, and they are alive today and they are doing well. I want to see and look back. What are the legacies we have built in JCI that is still growing and that actually molded people? I want to look back and think how many less privileged children have been brought out of the less privileged homes and that are now going back to the less privileged homes everywhere, financing less privileged homes. I want to see how many community have we grown, have we created. I want to look back and say how many families have come out of me biologically, adoption-wise, How many families, how many people have I helped in career? I don't want to look back and think, how many houses have I gotten? How many cars, how many private jets have I had? Or rather, how many lives have I impacted? That's what I look out for as a legacy.
Wow. That's a lot of.
It is. It
That's a
is.
lot.
But God is helping us. God is helping us.
As you were mentioning it, my brain was just expanding. Now, okay, I have not added this to my own. Let me start adding some other things. Wow, that was awesome. But I want to ask, do you think at this stage of your life you need help? Like maybe there's something you are trying to do, but it's looking difficult. Is there anything like that?
To me,
Despite your friends, the relationships you have.
uh, when Ashake sang Lonely at the Top, it is real. When you are at the top of leadership, you attend to people, you attend to their needs,
Hmm.
you attend to their pains. But a lot of times, people don't remember you as human being. People don't
Wow.
see you that you go through pains. Nobody comes to you to say, how you feeling today? Is there anything you're going through? That
Hmm.
I've gone through for several years. We have our own low moments. We have our own time in our corner. We shed tears. We are not God. We are human beings. We have our challenges. We have our pains. We also need people. We also need people that believe in us to be able to watch out for us, to be able to look out for us. I will give an example.
Okay.
When I was in Durban for the army, John will continue. John is in Aso. John will continue to call me. Uncle, are you okay? I just said I should check up on you. He might not know what he was doing to me, but what he was giving me is more than money, it's more than material things. When I play badminton, so when I'm not playing games, Ataru will reach out to me and ask, Uncle, why are you not playing games? How are you spending your
Wow.
time? Are you not bored? He will follow up with me on reasons why I have to go and play my games because the games give me joy.
Hmm.
A lot of people leave you at that top thinking you have everything you need. We don't have everything we need. We are human beings, we have blood, we have water flowing in us. The way we give out to people attention, the way we give care out to people, we also need that care. We also need that love. We also need people to be able to say, oh, are you going through anything? Are you going through any pain? It is not
Even
only
if they
when,
can't help.
even the fact that they ask, the fact that you know
Hmm.
that they care about you is enough to give you enough confidence, enough succor, enough happiness to overcome a lot of things. We're human beings.
Wow.
As much as we might be financially okay, that doesn't mean we don't have our own financial challenges. There are times we also don't have money in our accounts, but people might not believe because at every point in time that people comes around, we go out of our way to give. That doesn't mean we have in excess. That is why we give. No, it's because we have the grace to give. There are people that
Hmm.
have in multiples than we have and don't give, not because they are wicked, but when God give you the grace, when God make you a vessel to other people, it becomes a responsibility. Even when you don't have, you go out of your way. So nobody understand when we go through the pains of not having. We're giving not because we're wealthy. We're giving not because
But
we are
sir,
rich.
allow me to interrupt you. Most
Okay.
times we don't even know the low moments. Because I also do that to people. Reach out to them, say, how are you doing? They say, I'm fine. Are you sure? I say, I'm fine. So I don't even know if it's worth anything to them. Just know they are always good. If you reach out to them, they are still fine. And they say thank you, and that was all.
Hmm. You know why it might not have a meaning if you're doing it literally the way every human being does it. A lot of people
Hmm.
just come around and say, oh, how you doing? When they keep asking, they have an agenda. It might be because they're looking at something they want to ask from you in the very near future.
Wow.
So they were familiarizing themselves. If you're close to someone, you should know the body language of that person. You should be able to read that person. You should be able to understand that person. When that person's nature changes, you should be able to ask, how are you? And the person says, yes, I am fine. Auntie, are you sure you're fine? You used to take a walk. You've not taken your walk in the last 3-4 days. Oh, you noticed it? Yes, I noticed it. Okay, I'll tell you, I have leg pains. That's why I've not been taking my walk. You went beyond, how are you doing? How are you doing? And become a song in everybody's ear. It is not a fear any longer. So you have to go further to understand and to understand people and read it. That's it.
Hey, I'm done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I mean, you took it very personal, and I went beyond the surface question, and you were still able to attend to them. I won't want to take you more than this. I've spent 1 hour 10 minutes. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate.
Wow.
This is gone already, sir.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
I wish you the best. In 20 years, I want to look back and celebrate you the way we celebrate Ruben Abati and Co today. That's my dream for you. And you'll be better than them. You'll be celebrated. You will sit and interview president, not only in your country, in other countries. You'll be a global success. Just remain focused and continue to do better. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right. With this, we have come to the end of this podcast. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And take good care. Yeah.
Yes, sir.